Your experience of life right now is limited to one particular sector of it because of the identity that you've created for yourself right now. Quazi here, and in this video, I want to talk to you about why you shouldn't be yourself. And I know this sounds like a crazy topic and it just sounds nuts, but I want to talk about this because most people have this binary stance of who they are and who they're not. So they'll start to do something and they'll be like, oh, this is me, this is Quazi. Quazi goes out, on a Friday night, and this is what Quazi does. Quazi has fun with his friends. Yes, Quazi eats this, Quazi eats that. And Quazi doesn't do that. Oh no, Quazi doesn't, Quazi's an introverted on a Friday night. He doesn't stay in, he must go out. And basically this kind of idea of the one true you versus not you. And a lot of people kind of are conditioned with this kind of belief because your environment tells you, oh, you don't need to be that, It's totally fine, just be the way you are, you don't need to change. And then when you do start to change, people start to get creeped out because they're like, oh no, you're a completely different person now, I don't recognize you. Why that is not actually a bad thing is because people are just afraid of the unknown. People have been accustomed to getting to know a certain part of you and a certain personality of you, and now they're accustomed to that, they're afraid of the unknown you, and basically what's in the dark. And this whole time you've been facing what's in the light, and now it's time to face what's in the dark, because the law of attraction works because you're always getting out of your comfort zone. You're currently experiencing a certain reality and you want to experience some other reality and immerse yourself more and more into the experience of what you call life. But the thing is, if you keep focusing on the same things and keep holding on to the same beliefs that you've had your whole life, and you just completely immerse yourself in the experience of life that you're already having, that you're currently having, how do you expect to go to your desired life and your desired lifeline? So this is why it's so important that you don't hold on to a binary stance of this is the true me and this is not the true me. This is not me at all. And most people do this because they've been conditioned at a very young age to be this kind of character. Like, oh, you're the Quazi who studies hard and then, only on the weekends he goes out, this is who you are, just be like this. And then your brain starts to tell you that as well. And you'll see that whenever you start to go against this identity, you start to fight within yourself. Like you'll get all of these doubts and you're like, oh my God, am I doing the right thing? Like think about it especially this way. If you're pursuing a new career path or you want to do something that's completely drastically different, think about the self-doubts that you get in your mind. For me, if I don't want to go to a 9-to-5 and I want to do this full time, my brain will be saying, oh no, what if this doesn't work? And this is my old identity fighting with my new identity. So your two selves are always at war with each other. And this is primarily why you get all of these self-doubting beliefs, you get all of these negative thoughts, because every single day you're trying to be something else, and then your old self keeps coming back and keeps haunting you. It's like trying to take up a new habit, but then you keep falling back into your old habits. And that's because your two selves are always at war with each other. And because of this war, you're always at unease and you can't really taste blissfulness. And I want to share with you what you can really do to kind of ease into this new identity that you would like to become, and why it's so important to not be so attached to one identity and one set of beliefs is because if you want the law of attraction to work to its fullest, as I mentioned, you are trying to experience a new reality, a completely different reality and a completely different lifeline from where you are right now. Therefore, you inside must change first to attract that. And that is why we focus on identity shifting, because it's the most powerful paradigm and the most profound change of your experience of the reality that you're in comes from the identity. So with that, let's get into this video. Now, you're trying to immerse yourself in the experience of life. And in order to fully immerse yourself in this experience that you call life, you must be okay and willing to embody different aspects of it. So most people think that this is me and this is not me. And this is a complete misconception. Because what most people don't realize is that there are different versions of you. Tell me how you can be an extroverted Quazi one day and be an introverted Quazi the next day. Since Quazi is doing both of these, then that means that there are different versions to Quazi. Are there not? So there are multiple versions of you, and which version you're choosing to embody now is basically the result of your unconscious belief and how you've been programmed to run up until this point. And that's why you're embodying a certain version of yourself. Now, if you were to start living more and more consciously and really choose for at least the first few days to embody a different version of yourself, like, oh, I'm the Quazi that walks tall and walks straight. Even by doing a simple practice like that, you can implement a new identity shift. If you keep practicing living consciously and then consciously reminding yourself to become, to stand taller and stand more straight, then you'll embody a different version of yourself, the version of yourself that stands up straight, right? So in this way, we can embody different versions of ourselves. So there is not one true you and one not you. So there isn't you and not you. There is just different versions of you. So that's the first thing that I want to establish. And I truly encourage you to look into it deeper and deeper and see which version of yourself that you need to be in order to achieve your goals. Because right now, the current version of you will never achieve its goals. Because this character isn't fit to achieve those goals, therefore it doesn't have the goals and have the reality that it wants to experience. Does that make sense? So in that manner, which version of you achieves its goals? Define that person. Once you define that person, embody that person to the best of your ability right now. It's as simple as that. Identity shifting is as simple as that. Most people don't even know who they need to become in order to achieve their goals. It's just as simple as defining that person and then slowly working on becoming that person. And the tool that is going to help you become that person is consciousness. If you bring in consciousness to everything that you're doing, your life will change profoundly. I'm not even joking when I say this. Like, most people think, oh, just develop good habits. I don't even want you to develop good habits. I want you to live consciously, even if you're doing your habits. Like, we're intelligent human beings. We should be living consciously at every single point in our lives. And it's as simple as that. So if you're doing something out of habit, just be conscious of the habit. Then you can start to become the creator of your own reality. Reality is created when there is a conscious choice to do so. And the only organisms that can be observant of their own existence is us. It's human beings. So we've been given a massive power, and the real reason that I got into the law of attraction and all of this stuff is because I knew that I could do more with my life rather than being a victim of my circumstance. There is the fate model where people believe that, oh, well, I've been dealt a hand and therefore I must live this hand, I'm just doomed to it. I just don't have any other choice. I'm just going to do a 9 to 5. I'm going to get married, have kids and then die. That's my reality. That's that. That's the fate model. And then the reality creator model is basically I choose my reality. And this empowers you so much because this basically says anything is possible. You just have to set your mind to it and then slowly become that person that gets that thing. And as a result, it comes to you. So I had to learn that slowly over the years, and once I did, it empowered me massively. It's like something just switched on in my head and I just started to do all of these things. I just went from playing video games all day, like 12 hours a day, eating shitty food, to like becoming this person who is on this self-development journey. And it's massively changed my life, and I wish this upon every single one of you. So anyway, going back to the idea of one true self and one true unself, it's because right now you're giving into that duality in your mind where, oh, this is me and this is not me. But in truth, there are different versions of you. So let's get that straight. Now, let's get back to the idea of learning to embody different versions of yourself. And because remember before I said that we are here to live life. That is the purpose of life. The purpose of life is to live life. We're here to immerse ourselves fully in this experience. And in order to fully immerse ourselves in this experience, you have to learn to embody different versions of yourself. So stop and think about this for a second. Your experience of life right now is limited to one particular sector of it because of the identity that you've created for yourself right now. If you want to experience another sector of life, then another identity must be accessed. And the only way to do that is to, consciously choose to become that person, define that person, and consciously choose to embody that person every single day. Once you start to embody different characters, you'll see that automatically your life will become more and more fulfilling. Like if you just stop giving into that binary stance of the true me and not me, then you automatically get access to that dimension where you can be different versions of yourself. So, I was a Quazi that was introverted. I was just like, oh, I'm just going to stay in my room and play video games. And then I wondered why I wasn't having the friends that I want. And I thought it was the fate model where I was doomed to whatever hand I was dealt. I'm not born with this extroverted quality, so I can't do this. And then throughout the years, after I've started to learn about the law of attraction, and I've started to learn that anything is really possible if you just set your mind to it and you persist and you just start to become that person, then, Quazi could become an extroverted person. And then that's what I became. Now I'm sort of an extroverted person, and even more empowering, a level above that, is choosing when to become an extrovert and when to become an introvert. Because when I first started becoming more and more outgoing, more and more confident, if you will, it was always just like a struggle of me against the world. Like, you'll think about this, like people who are so hell-bent on becoming confident, it's always them against the world. And you against the universe is a very, very futile battle, because who do you think is going to win? So with that idea in place, just understand that it's not you against the world, it's you and the world. And confidence is really a flawed quality, because confidence assumes the idea that, it's me, I'm exerting my influence over the world, look at me, I'm walking straight, I'm taking whatever I want, I'm this little child. And basically that's kind of the idea that it conveys, because a truly confident person doesn't even need confidence. Like, true confidence is when you're just, well, I'm here, I can be whatever I want to be, I can choose to embody whatever reality I choose to be, I don't need to harm anyone or, struggle to get whatever I want. It's just there for me to choose. So that's what true confidence is. So anyway, that's how I went from my different stages, from introverted to extroverted, to being confident and to being more comfortable, not even confident, comfortable with choosing whatever I wanted to choose. So those are the different versions of me. So right now I'm the version that's comfortable choosing to be introverted at times and then choosing to be extroverted at times, whatever you choose. And I want you to get to that stage as well, because this is the most empowering stage, because now you're completely in control. By the very surrender of this control, like saying, well, I don't need this in my life at all. I don't need to be anything. I can just choose to be whatever I want to be, given on what my circumstances demand of me. That's it. So again, going back to that idea of identity shifting, you must learn to first embody different versions of yourself, to fully immerse yourself in the experience of life. And second, understand that, you don't need to be anything. You can choose to be whatever you want to be. And whatever you need to be is basically the reality that you'd like to experience. So define your reality, define the character that is needed for this reality, to experience this reality, and slowly work on becoming that. And this is basically the most powerful paradigm of manifestation available to you right now. Like, I'm not joking. This is why I teach this in the Reality Mastery Program, because it works like magic. It's almost like magic. Everything I've manifested in my life was a result of becoming that person. It's like I took on these different projects, and then I became these people, and then slowly, before my very eyes, things just started to become attracted to me. So, again, to recap, the only way to find out the true nature of reality is to fully immerse yourself in the experience. And in order to fully immerse yourself in the experience, you need to learn to embody different versions of yourself that is capable and able to experience these different aspects of reality. And lastly, what I want to share with you right now is an exercise that is going to help you get comfortable with being something that you're not right now. So what I want you to do right now, as you're watching this video, just after this video is even ended, just do something that you would normally not do at this time of the day, or, you would normally not do. And what this is going to do is get you into the habit of becoming this different person, becoming this different version of you. Because remember, you're not becoming a different person, you're just embodying a different version of you. I hope that makes sense. So just do one activity right now that is going to help you embody a different version of yourself. If you've been listening to a lot of classical music, listen to some punk rock right now. Or do something every single day, but starting now, right now, do something right now that you would normally not do. I had one of my clients take a $100 bill and chop it up. I mean, I'm not saying you have to do that, but just do something right now that you would normally not do. And this will feel so empowering. I'm not even joking. this will literally feel like you're breaking free from a cage, because all of us right now, we have this particular identity that we're holding on to and these belief systems that we're holding on to. And we just grip so tightly to these because this is the only reality that we know, and we're uncomfortable. This is where the comfort zone thing comes from, because most people are just holding on to this particular version of themselves, and they're desperately trying to experience a new reality. Like, how do you expect to experience a different reality if you're just holding on to this version of yourselves? So that's why I ask you to do this exercise. Do something right now that you would normally be uncomfortable doing, and let me know in the comments below how your results are, how you feel after. So really do this, and from now on, just make it a habit, to do something every single day that you're uncomfortable doing. And I'm sure many of you who've been watching my videos and you've implemented new practices in your life, you've seen that you're becoming a different person as a result. Like anything that you do differently, even if you start walking a little bit differently, you'll become a completely different version of yourselves. So with that, hope you try this exercise, and I hope this video helped. This is probably one of the most powerful videos I've made. And this is really the root of manifestation and the law of attraction, because this is what identity shifting is. Learning to become a different version of yourself and learning to define that version that is needed to experience the reality that you would like to experience, not the reality that's predetermined for you. So with that, I hope you enjoyed this video and I hope this helped. If you like this kind of stuff, let me know in the comments below, and also share it with a friend so they may benefit as well. And I'm growing a massive Facebook group where I'll be sharing all of this kind of stuff, and I would also love to interact with you on a personal level. And I found that when I first started off with the law of attraction, I didn't really know what I was doing. So it would have been helpful to have a group to share it with. That's why I made this group, and that's why I want you to join this group so we can diagnose your law of attraction practices together and help you become a better manifestor of your reality. So if you're interested, click on the link in the description below to join. Also, I'm excited to announce that the Reality Mastery Program is officially open for enrollment in April now. And if you don't know what the Reality Mastery Program is, it's basically an identity shifting program. Basically what I talked about here. We're going deeper and deeper into it, because I found that identity shifting is the most powerful paradigm of manifestation. Because most people are focused on what they can have, or some technique they've learned, some 55 times 5 manifestation technique, some meditation technique, or some affirmations. But they're focused on the doing paradigm and they're stuck there. The most powerful paradigm is becoming. People don't really tell you how to become, how to be. People only tell you how to do, and people are only looking for how to do without understanding how to be. So that's why I want to share with you the most powerful paradigm in this program. And if you're interested in a free consult, and again, it's completely free, we'll be diagnosing your current law of attraction practices and how you can get access to the most powerful paradigm. Click on the link in the description below, and I hope I see you there. Thanks for watching. Till next time, peace.